Perfect, thank you. So let's talk about employee engagement. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, my goal is to convince every single one of you to fully invest into the engagement of your employees. And even if you are already convinced, maybe your colleagues aren't. So let me give you some tools to convince your CEO, your CFO to do the same. Because employee engagement is not only a key element in a sustainable business strategy, it is also one of the key drivers, or maybe the most important driver or accelerator in growth of your business, especially if you can turn your employees into real brand ambassadors. And I must say, employee engagement is hot nowadays. It is even hotter than ever. And a recent study shows that it has made it to the top 3 priorities in the CEO agenda, which is great, of course. But unfortunately, there is a huge gap between this awareness and acknowledging it and actually the reality. Because as we probably all know, there is a Gallup research that shows that, unfortunately, there is an inconvenient truth. 87% of the employees do not feel engaged towards their employer, even if they are satisfied with their job content. And it's even worse because of these 87%, 17% is being actively disengaged. What do we mean when we say actively disengaged? It means that consciously or unconsciously, they are sabotaging the organization. And this costs billions of dollars to companies every year. And that's, of course, a shame. Now, knowing this, we can say that employee engagement has become a real wicked problem. And it's not enough to know it now. Now has come the time to know how. And last year, I published a book together with my colleague, Klaus Lomach. And Klaus is not here, but he's a very well-known expert in marketing in my home country, Belgium. And together we wrote this book, and this book is called Employee Engagement, What Else? Now, what else? Most probably it rings a bell, and it should be, pun intended, because it is a direct reference to the slogan of a very famous coffee brand, of course. Not just because ourselves, we are huge coffee lovers, or because I wanted to attract the attention of George Clooney. The main reason, of course, I would never dare to do so, but the main reason is, of course, because this title captures the very essence of our book. We want to bring 2 worlds together. It's the world of marketing and communication on the one hand, and of HR. Because we strongly believe that those 2 worlds can really learn from each other. And this is exactly what we wanted to do in our book. Our book wants to help business leaders, HR leaders, or anyone who has to deal with teams to up their engagement game. And how do we do so? Well, actually, we offer 2 different solutions. The first one is because we want to help you to use your very specific organizational culture, your very specific DNA, as a unique asset in the current war on talent to fight symptoms like the great resignation, the quiet quitting, quiet firing, and all these negative symptoms. I myself have had the pleasure to be in my corporate career in extraordinary cultures, and I have witnessed firsthand how we could actually rewrite history thanks to our unique culture. So whatever culture you are in at the moment, have a closer look at it. You can't make everyone happy. You're not an ice cream seller, but you do have a very specific culture, and your vibe will attract your tribe. So this is the first solution. The second one is we want to use best practices from our own field of expertise, because we come from the marketing and communication world. And we've been using so many techniques to attract, to incentivize, to retain customers. But what if we just use these techniques and borrow them and use them to attract, incentivize, and retain an internal audience, our employees, and treat our employees as our best customers? Can you imagine? That would be fantastic, right? So this is actually what we do. We use these marketing and communication techniques, same techniques, but different audience. So at every step in your employee journey, ask yourself the question, what would marketing do? So go to your marketing department, and why don't you just ask them, like, what kind of customer journey do we have? How do we do this? And why not be inspired by this customer journey to craft your own employee journey? So let me just quit this with this last question that you might take into the office when you go back to the office tomorrow. And you ask your CEO or CFO or sales director one question. We are all so obsessed with our customers, but what if we had that same passion for our employees? Imagine what would happen then. Thank you so much.